This week on the outline, we have special guest Jabari Scott. He and I will be discussing Super Bowl highlights and the downfalls, Beyonce's big baby announcement, our favorite shows of the moment, and the 6 things you should be discussing with your partner before it's too late. This is the outline.
The outline with Kevin Dwayne. Kevin Dwayne. The outline with Kevin Dwayne. The outline with Kevin Dwayne. This is the outline with Kevin Dwayne. Kevin Dwayne. Kevin Dwayne with Kevin Dwayne.
What's going on, you guys? It's the outline with Kevin Dwayne. This is episode 31. Thank you so much for listening. As always, I say the same thing every week. You should be used to the shit by now. But remember, you can listen to this podcast at kevindwayne.com, SoundCloud, iTunes, Google Play Music, Stitcher. Also, make sure you're following me at The World of Kevin. This week, I have another guest. I'm so excited that the show has gotten to the place where I have guests now. Like, when I first began, I was like, I'm going to do this thing solo, and we'll see what happens. But I guess the show is picking up enough that people are like, listen, I'm trying to come join you, and I love it because it just makes my life so much easier. Now, everybody can't be a goddamn guest. Let me just make that clear. You have to have a certain kind of disposition about yourself, and you have to be able to, carry a decent conversation. But it is nice to know there are people out there who will bring something different and good to the show. So this week, I have someone who's actually in town for the weekend enjoying themselves in Atlanta, and I'll have him introduce himself.
Hey y'all, my name is Jabari Scott. I am a burgeoning writer and blogger, and that basically just means I write shit on the internet. How y'all doing?
Yes, writing shit on the internet. Yes, you do. You have a very fun opinion on things. I enjoy your posts. So did we? I'm always curious on how I meet people because in my life I feel like people just pop up. Mm-hmm. Like literally, like I don't know if I'll add someone like on Facebook or whatever, or they'll see my a blog, or there's people who have been around since 2008, and I had no idea because they just started talking to me or something. And so what happens is people will just pop up and we'll start having a conversation. I'm like, oh, this person's cool as hell. So I'm always curious on how did we discover each other?
Okay, so I actually discovered you first because YouTube.
So it was YouTube.
Exactly.
Okay, see?
Like I found you on YouTube and I liked your vibe, liked your videos, and I said, you know what? Let me go see what social media he has. Found you on Facebook, and the rest is history.
That's so funny because I'm always curious. I don't always ask. I randomly, because I am into social media, I don't necessarily vet people like that. The only people I vet are people I work with in my 9 to 5. I'm like, nope, you can't. Nah, I don't need you in this. But
because I don't need my boss knowing what I say.
I mean, but even then, I don't care that much. But I still am I'd rather keep you at work. That's just my
that's it.
Right.
That's it.
But for the most part, I'll just add people. I'm like, I'll just do a checklist. I'm like, oh, well, they're black. Okay, probably gay. Okay, they're fine. You come in. I just want to make sure it's not someone who's going to be like a troll or something.
Or problematic.
Because
the second you say Black lives don't matter, cop lives matter, Beyonce is trash. Up, okay.
Gotta go.
Delete.
Gotta go.
Please.
Gotta go. Exactly. No, that's real. So I'm always curious on how people happen. And then what happens is like you and I, I'll talk to people regularly, once a day almost. Everything was always a conversation. You're like, oh shit. And then I'm always like, where'd they come from though? Because some people are silent. Some people, I guess they feel like, well, I'm just gonna sit here and just look. And then they'll find a place where they're like, okay, I can go ahead and start commenting, and then it'll be a whole little thing that happens.
Because see, with me, it's like if I don't know you in real life, I'm not going to try and force myself on you, because I know how that looks and I know how that feels, and I'm like, okay, I need you to be over there because I don't know you. But with you, it's like I'm reading your post, scroll through Facebook. I'm like, he sounds a lot like me. let me see.
That's so funny.
Oh, we see each other. Okay.
Yeah. Oh, that works out. So glad to have you on the show. I know, like, I will say thank you because you're like a great supporter of the show. Like, you're one of the people that I do see sharing. I'm like, oh, shout out. Like, that's dope. So when you said you're going to be in town, I was like, of course, come through. Like, support people who support you. And I know that you do your writing and stuff like that. So anytime you post something, I'm making sure I'm sharing it too because that's important when it comes to being in social media and connecting with people and collaborating and
especially if you're black.
Especially if you're black, absolutely. But it has to be of quality.
Once
again,
God,
like you can't be like a creambmp.com writer or Empire News or one of them websites.
Or if you actually believe that media takeout is real news. Bless your heart, baby.
Bless your heart. Yeah, exactly.
Heart.
It has to be it has to be substantial. I do like forward thinkers. I do like open-minded people. And it's not to say I wouldn't ever have someone on the show who opposes me, because that was a conversation I had with one of my friends. She was like, I would like to have someone who is opposite of you, who would respectfully disagree, because she knows I'm crazy. She's like somebody who would, I mean, you got to get out.
You like, sweetheart,
you gotta
either you leave or I'll fuck you up.
Right, right. You can't be here no more. But I was like, that's true. And I'm not opposed to someone who's like that. It's just, it's hard to find people who disagree respectfully.
Exactly.
It's so hard to find that. But I mean, I'm for it. But the problem is we have this issue when it comes to opinions. We feel like if people don't agree with us, it's just like, kill it.
End of the world.
Die. It's like, no, there's people who have different views than you, but it's how you deliver the opposition.
And the thing of it is, people too many times they fit into that label of, I'm listening to combat you or to say something back, and not like, oh, okay, I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
No, you want to say, well, I feel like, baby, you up here, I need you to come down here.
It's that listening to reply, not listening to understand. And because I mean, we treat, and I think I do it sometimes too. We treat opposition as a competition. Like, it's literally like, no, I have to prove to you why you're wrong. But we have to understand with opinions, it comes from our own experiences. It comes from our own perspectives.
And everybody is not the same person.
They're not. And it's just, and I'm sure we'll dig into this with the several topics that we have here. So you probably know what this is like. When you're single, right? Say you've been single for like 2-3 years, you haven't really been dealing with anybody, no fuck boys, nothing like that or whatever. And life is good for you because you don't have that drama. The only things you hear about are your friends and their shit. You hear them going through their relationship shit. You be like, I'm glad it's not me.
Like your beard, like your beard's growing.
Yeah,
your skin's clearing up.
Yeah, you good. You're good, and you see
you
people
talking to God and everything.
Right, you're good, and so you're like, okay, cool. And then you meet somebody, and you're like, this is new. And, it's going well, and you forgot, like, oh, yeah, this does feel kind of good. Like, I do miss the feeling of the compatibility and, the love and stuff like that. And then, like clockwork, it ends up going south. And now you're in your feelings about some shit. And now you're like, what the fuck? How did I get back here? I don't even do this shit. How did I get back here? That's literally how I felt about the Super Bowl last night.
Jesus.
That's literally how I felt. Because I don't fucking watch football, okay?
Me either.
I keep to my goddamn self, all right?
Let me tell you. I did not, I don't watch football because, sports, what are those? But it's like, y'all had a 20-point plus lead. How the hell did y'all fuck that up?
I can't do it. And I think with me, like I said, I don't watch football. I usually don't care. I watch the halftime show like most gays, and I go about my business. But I was like, this is kind of cool though. I'm in a city that actually has a team, so I was like, cool. I'll bandwagon for the sake of being
for the hell of it.
I'm in Atlanta. I'll do it. And it was kind of exciting to be amongst other people who were also going for like, oh, Falcons. I'm like, cool. It was a good ass party I went to. Food was good. Drinks were good. We were taking shots at the touchdown. That was the honeymoon phase. It was a real good ass time.
Like, y'all was in love.
We was good. Shit. We was having good sex and everything. It was like, yes, this is a good ass time. And then somewhere around that fourth quarter, shit got real. It was like, wait
you
a
went
minute.
through his phone.
I went through his phone and saw some shit. So now
and you saw that bitch from Kroger.
Right.
And you said,
who is this? So we've been fighting this whole time, and then we go into overtime, and I lose. So it felt like that.
Depression.
That's exactly how the Super Bowl felt for me.
But
last
you know
night.
what? Like I said, I don't even watch football, and I'm from Chicago, so the Bears. We're not gonna talk about that right now. But I already knew going into the Super Bowl, I was gonna have a horse in this race. Mm-hmm. I just looked and said, you know what? I'm here for the food, for Gaga, and that's about it. But I'm watching the game, and the part that gave me life are the petty ass Saints fans.
Yeah,
those petty ass Saints fans that basically sat through the game like
because they didn't.
So y'all
gone.
No, but
they were just mad.
The rivalry. Well, from what I'm gathering, the rivalry is between the Saints and the Falcons because the Falcons didn't wish the Saints like joy when they won the Super Bowl a couple years back. Mm-hmm. But is Crystal a Saints fan then? Oh yes,
because she's been going in this morning.
No, she's been having fun.
She's been having a good
and
ass time.
I have been cackling, which is why Thursday when the episode comes out, I'm just gonna be sitting there like, okay, well, so what you gonna say?
She hates Atlanta so much
because her Twitter has been popping.
Oh yeah, it's been hilarious, and it literally felt like the worst of evils because it felt racial to me. Honestly,
it was
because New England is very much a white team, in my opinion.
And then their quarterback is the Trump supporter, and I'm like,
exactly.
Okay, so
right, and so
Falcons do
so
this.
You got this ratchet ass hood Southern team, and you got this team that represents like white supremacy. So it felt like that. I'm like, no,
like I can't win for losing with y'all because it's like I don't give a damn about the Falcons, but God. I don't want Tom Brady to win shit because he said yay Trump.
Yeah.
So what the fuck?
And he has a little fanny pack and I just
and then Giselle Bundchen was even worse because she was just turned up the whole entire game.
Yeah.
So I'm just like, you know what? I have to look away.
It was so interesting, but for the most part, I had a really, really good time. It was just hard when it was over. In fact, I actually packed up my things when they did the coin toss and gave it to the Patriots. I said, nope, not doing it. I said,
like I'm not going to be this person.
I was on my way home, and when I got to my gate, I got a Periscope notification that said, Pats won. I'm like,
well, okay.
And I was like, I just wanted to be in the safety of my home.
I'll put it like this. At the party that I was at, like literally they were going ham at the overtime. And I'm just sitting in the corner like, y'all know the Pats gonna win, right? And when they won, it was literally, again, election night all over again. Because it's just like, y'all saw Trump won. Oh, shit.
It hurt so badly. It really hurt. And once, like I said, I'm not even in the fucking football. I wasn't connected.
For the home team.
Because I lived here. I felt like the spirit was so real, but I also had to experience that spirit be broken. Because when I tell you, there's no traffic today in Atlanta. Like, people are...
The roads are clear.
People are upset.
They had their plans already ready to go. They were like, "I'm going to call in and be at this parade, girl."
I cannot deal. And just in case anyone's carrying the tube at home, this is being recorded on a Monday. Just in case it's released on Wednesday, you're like, "Wait, what? Huh?" No, it's being recorded on a Monday. It's actually 12 o'clock in the afternoon on a Monday, so it's literally after the depression that happened on Sunday night. But for the most part, I had a good time. And it was interesting because I went to a party and it was, I don't want to lie on them, but most of them were lesbian. And there were two couples and then there was a couple other girls there who I just think were just there. I was the only male there. And it was actually a really good time. And I hate stereotypes so much, but it worked so great last night for me in my favor because I got to enjoy the halftime show without cattiness and shade. It was so wonderful. I got to literally watch Lady Gaga without hearing the different categories. Let's talk about hair. Let's talk about outfit. Let's talk about vocals. Let's talk about it was literally just, let's just enjoy the halftime show.
Can we get into that for a second?
Sure, yeah.
Okay, so I need y'all to stop comparing Gaga and Beyonce.
Or any of these artists to anybody.
That too. But specifically, Gaga and Beyonce. Mm-hmm. Look, girl, we know that Beyonce is like the light and truth in the way. We know that. But at the same time, Gaga did wonderful for Gaga. Mm-hmm. She got up on that stage and did her motherfucking thing.
Yes.
Now, granted, and all you all saying that it wasn't political, are y'all sure you watched the same performance?
Yeah, the drones in the beginning of the performance or the flag.
I mean, like, girl, first of all, she said that this country is for all of us, not just you white motherfuckers. Yeah. But she said this country is for all of us, and she performed Born This Way with a crew of homosexuals.
Yep.
What? I mean, the signs were all there, girl. What you want?
There. But some people don't have that third eye, though. And I've learned, everybody ain't woke. People just see, it got to be in their face. Like, you got to see a whole booty hole to know it's porn.
Pretty much.
Like, no. Sometimes they don't see.
Like, you got to see the dick
you
to know.
You're right. You didn't catch from the dialogue that happened. Yeah, some people don't see that, where literally that's how she opened up. And I thought it was a good performance, too. Mm-hmm. It was very good. It was very solid. I thought she sounded well. I thought it was great and stuff like that. It did feel safe for her.
I mean, fair.
But at the same time,
it was good for Gaga.
But I'm proud of her for getting to do Super Bowl. It was a good performance.
Because some of y'all just ain't able.
I thought it was a very clean performance, and I think what I'm tired of is I don't get how people with no talent can sit at home and say, it could have been better. Can you do any of that? Like,
girl,
can you do?
Were you in the gym shooting around? That's my question.
There were so many 8 counts that happened. There was outfit changes. She was flying off shit. You can't even.
Can you come down from the ceiling?
You can't even get on your.
Off?
You can't even get on
what
your
can
local,
you do?
Your local trampoline.
Come on.
Without being out of air. Like,
I
just think it's interesting how we have been built to feel like we can even have an opinion on how good something is, and we've never even been in that arena or that form.
You know what? A lot of the opinions aren't always harsh. Mm-hmm. I mean, because some of them I'm like, okay, I see your point, but at the same time, it's like, but girl, what?
Some people were talking about her stomach, and I was like, really? Is this really an issue? Because she had like a little situation going on. It wasn't a bad thing.
I will tell you one thing.
She's still a thin girl.
I mean,
she's a thin girl.
It'd be like that. But y'all, were y'all really that pressed at figuring out everything wrong with the performance? Yeah. Every single thing?
Well, I think it goes into this, which will be our next topic too. It's very much like people always have to feel like they have to hold on to the legacies of their favorite people, and that's just not just Beyonce, that's other people too.
Everybody's
because so what they do is they have to find everything wrong with the person who's performing, because I have to save the legacy, when in reality
the legacy ain't going
nowhere. It's going to be in the books forever, because it's in the
Mariah
books.
just taught us that, like, y'all was so hard up to say, like, oh she's over, she's done.
She's still Mariah.
Girl, she's Mariah.
She's still Mariah.
Mariah will still get up on that stage and give you them notes.
She's still, and that's what I'm saying. The legacy isn't going anywhere. So what happens?
And she's still rich. What you want?
Listen, body's banging too. I said, Mariah, you doing this at what, 44, 45? She's doing it. Like, so.
And Mama could still sell out a show to this day. Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
Because
and
all the elder gays would still be like, oh, Mariah's coming to town? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So StubHub, what we doing? How can we talk about it?
I mean, that's the reason why Madonna still sells out shit. Like, Madonna's, 70? Shit, she's up there.
First of all, she was there for the birth of Christ, number one.
Right. But that's what I'm saying. But people are going to be fans of who they're fans of. What happens is people get so delusional in their love for their people that they detract whatever the next person's doing. It's like, listen, no one's taking anything away from anybody. And that's not just about Beyonce. It can be about Janet. It can be about Madonna. It can be about Mariah. It can be about Whitney. No one's taking from it. But here's the thing. Life is still going to go on. There's always going to be somebody else on the stage. Your artist is going to have their moment, but don't think their moment's going to last forever. And that's what I don't understand.
And to piggyback off that, understand that these new faves you have, whose shoulders do you think they're standing on, baby? Because
I don't want to hear Ariana Demi nothing.
Because
they too far down the line.
Because if not for Mariah coming through and screaming to the ceiling, mm-hmm. Ariana wouldn't have a career, sweetheart.
Right.
And also all the girls that are saying that Beyonce's better than Janet, you do realize who Beyonce stands for, right?
Right. And this is a thing though too. It's not the artist. It literally is the people making this shit up in their head, thinking that they're trying to replace. It's not a matter of replacement. No. It's just people get older. They do other things. They can't be number one forever. Someone's going to come and outshine Beyonce. I know it sounds crazy, and I love it. It sounds wild to me. It blows my mind. But about 20 years from now, there's going to be somebody else. Beyonce's going to be 56.
And Blue's gonna come through and say like, "Okay, mommy, you have a seat.
Right.
I'll take over."
But somebody else is going to be 20, 30 years younger who's going to be the biggest star at that time. And we'll probably be the salty one. She ain't no goddamn Beyonce.
Which is why, honestly, and understand, listeners. I'm not trying to incur the wrath. You'll be all right. But this is why me personally, I want both Janet and Beyonce to pull Tinashe to the side and say, "Baby, come here.
Yeah.
Let's talk."
I like Tinashe.
Like, you're about to become bigger than what you think you are. So let us explain what's about to happen.
I like Tinashe. I want her to pop off too. Maybe she'll have. But I always think about most artists where like Janet, Janet and Rihanna, because Beyonce popped up from the beginning. But it took them a couple albums, and out of nowhere it was like. Because Rihanna, remember, it was like, "Oh, hey, girl." And then Good Girl Bad came out. It was like, wait a minute, she's huge.
Like, where was this at?
With Janet had 2 albums that were just like, whatever. Then
like,
Control came out. It was just like, whoa. So Tinashe could easily be that. And vocally and choreography, like, she could do it. But you have to make the right steps. You have to have the right team, the right management, and you have to make the right decisions.
And read your contract before you sign it.
Right. So that actually pushes me right into my next point anyway. So after last week's podcast, the announcement that Beyonce was having twins came out.
The Royal Twins.
I don't really need to even talk about that. It's amazing as fuck. I'm excited about it. But it got me thinking about something. I was going to do a whole podcast about this on Friday. It was going to be a bonus episode. But I was like, you know what? I just don't have the energy right now. But I thought about it because I don't get it. I want to talk about the abnormal, the awkward, the extreme amount of disdain that people have for Beyonce. Like, I've never seen an artist who, as soon as some people see her name, they just get discombobulated. Like, they start foaming at the mouth. They start crying. They start going to Facebook saying they don't care. But I'm like, why would you waste your energy posting about it?
Keep in mind, in the days of the Michaels and the Whitneys and the Princes, we didn't have social media. Yeah. So these mugs, there probably was hate back in the day. True. But we just didn't have to see it.
We didn't have to see it. That's real. Because it's just, I've never seen an artist, like, literally, Ciara's pregnant, Janet just had a baby. Their announcements came out. It was like, okay, cool, congratulations.
Like,
Beyonce came out. Who the fuck cares? Fuck that bitch. Is she really gonna have the kids this time? Oh, I can't stand y'all. I need to log off. I don't want to see this. My timeline gonna be filled with these stupid ass Beehive people. She could never be Kim Kardashian. What? Like, people get so angry when they see I'm like, what did she
literally going to a rage.
Did she write a song about you? What did she do to you?
I kid you not. I was on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. I actually unfollowed somebody on Instagram because he posted about like, "Oh no, that's just gas. Don't worry about it." And then he rolled to the next post and said, "Well, why don't we talk about Ciara? Since she's actually having kids." I said, you know what? Let me go ahead and follow you real quick. I don't need to kind of.
So let's just take a moment. Let's take a moment because I'm literally, like I said, I was gonna do a whole podcast about it. I was gonna write a dissertation, and everything, because that's real. I know. I really, not even from a fan perspective, but just trying to understand it. I've just never seen
from a human perspective,
because people literally, like, yes, she has fans who love her to death. That's fine. But she also has people who hate her just as much as people love her. And I don't get, like, people literally get angry when they see her name. Oh, Beyonce.
They get pissed.
Why is she? She's this. So let's start from the beginning.
It's just like they have to go online and let you know. Oh, I don't care nothing about Beyonce.
But you posted it,
girl. We didn't ask you to care.
Because I don't like Taylor Swift or Justin Bieber, but you don't ever see me posting shit like, oh, I can't stand these. But why they keep? No one cares. I don't care. I legitimately don't care.
just scroll past like, okay, girl, that's nice.
Right. But when it's Beyonce, people literally go out of their way to tell you that they don't care. And I'm like, but you wasted your 140 characters to tell us this. So something tells us that you do. And don't think that caring is always positive. You care in a negative way. You do care. You're just pressed.
I mean, she wrote a whole song about y'all.
They really need to create an iron emoji. Because these motherfuckers are pressed. Right. Like, I really need an iron so I can just go ahead and put it on profile.
Apple, if you hear this,
Yes.
run that check.
Yes, make it a Sunbeam, please.
Like, look, run that check.
One of those big Sunbeam ones. Because people see her name and they literally get mad. People were literally complaining about seeing a bunch of Trump stuff. I'm so sick of this Trump stuff. I'm so sick of seeing politics all day. Beyonce makes an announcement, changes things. Now I gotta see this bitch all day, this extra person. I hate her. Is she really? It's just like, why? What did she do to you?
Okay, and you know what? I've been kind of cooking up a theory. Follow me.
Okay.
And cause see, every time Beyonce's mentioned, y'all literally just fly into a rage. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, what? Why are y'all so upset? It's like the only thing this woman did was say, I'm expecting kids with my husband, who I've been married to for well over 10 years.
Long time.
Well, let me not say married because they've only been married for 9. But I've been with this man for well over 10 years.
Yeah.
Like some of you girls, you ain't able. But it's just like all she did was announce her pregnancy. Her fans, albeit some of her stands do get a little bit extra, but most of her fans are happy for her because we know, like, we have seen her struggle with having the miscarriage, being scared to be pregnant with Blue because she thought she was gonna miscarry again. It's like we've seen all this and we're here for her because we actually have hearts.
Yeah. And it's new life. I mean, anytime somebody brings life to the world, it's a joyous moment. Not to mention, like you said, she announced it, and it was just a picture on IG.
Literally,
news outlets picked up the story because it was a big story,
and because it's Beyonce. She
didn't go around she hasn't done interviews in years. Like, she literally just went and put it on her Instagram. Like, we all post pictures. She did that, and so I have multiple theories on people here. Number one, it's envy and jealousy. There's this idea that if you're rich, there's a certain envy there. Mm-hmm. Fuck you. I don't care about you because you're rich. Like, whatever you do, I hate you because you have money. And
I hate you. I hate you, but I want to be you.
Right. There's a privilege. Number two, when you're praised by people who are insecure hate that shit.
They have to.
Why the fuck everybody like Beyonce? She ain't even all that. Da 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 da. And there's that part.
Be like. So who having a baby this time?
Right.
Oh, what?
It's like you're really this salty. And then that causes high blood pressure, which is a leading killer. Anyway, so then you have the people.
Preach on it.
You have the people like I spoke about earlier who are trying to protect the legacies of their artists. And so you do have a lot. And here's the thing. If you saw my timeline a couple days ago, I literally had a Janet Jackson moment for like 48 hours. Like, I love Janet Jackson. Like, she was the first.
Because Janet is the icon.
Janet is the icon. I fucking love her. But I love Beyonce too. I love multiple artists. And here's the gag. I'm not loyal to one artist because who said that was even a thing? Why do I have to be, why?
Let's expound on that for a second. Hold on. So for the kids who seem to believe that black people are just of one mind, we don't focus on one subject at a time.
Right.
Look here, girl. We have these big brains that can focus on many things. Mm-hmm. We can be happy for Beyonce, a black woman, mind you, and we can understand that 44 is about to fuck us sideways. Mm-hmm. We get that, and we're also not blind to the fact that Washington is doing some regular shit.
Right.
But the thing about it is, everybody who was happy for Beyonce, we were happy because A, we love her. Mm-hmm. B, it's a black woman doing black woman things, yes. And that's always a reason to be celebrated.
Absolutely. And
the thing of it is, like I said before, we know her struggles. We already know what she's been through with everything she's gone through. Mm-hmm. And a lot of women, I can't speak for I can't say gay men because we don't know the miscarriage struggle. Yeah. But a lot of women would look at her and say, I see that. I understand that. I'm here for you, sis. Yeah. And it's like a lot of y'all, I don't get why y'all are so mad at the fact that we're happy. Like, I don't understand.
And like when little Janet had her announced, people were super excited about that. Like, I've just never seen so much disdain for literally Beyonce. One person. And it's like the protecting of the legacies, and then some people are still salty from Destiny's Child days. Like when
y'all still mad about Latoya Latavia.
They are though.
Y'all still mad.
They are though. But that was a business decision made by her dad. Like,
speaking of which, I need a Destiny's Child biopic. I need it.
Oh yes. I need it. But see, I'm of the belief that Beyonce would probably have to be dead because I need the truth, and Beyonce curates her life well, just too well for me. And I really want it to be kind of like James Brown, Get On Up, where they give you everything. I want the real shit. And I know that anytime Beyonce's around, Beyonce gonna be like, nope, that ain't going in there. Nope, that ain't going in there either.
But you know what? Even after Beyonce leaves, her whole legacy is gonna be like, okay, so what are we saying? What we doing? Because you got to realize Blue's still gonna be there. And
that's true.
And
well,
Blue, and when Blue gets older, she gonna be sitting over everybody like, okay, so what you saying about my mama?
Right.
What we doing?
That's true. Well, I also think it could, but here's the thing though. Michael Jackson was also very curated too, but their movie was made off of his book Moonwalker, so she could very well get someone to write her own little shit about it or whatever. But I just want it to be authentic. That's all I'm asking for.
And also, I personally believe in my heart that a lot of the decisions made, Matthew kind of kept Beyonce away from
she
it.
She did. Did you read the book?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah.
And it's just like he kept her away from a lot of it, and he pretty much made decisions without telling her anything.
Yeah.
She just went through it because, again, she was all of what, 17, 18, 19?
She took the brunt. It's kind of like working in customer service.
Right.
Like people call you and they cuss you out. You're the person they're talking to. You're the frontline person. You made none of the decisions that made them mad.
Meanwhile, you sitting on the phone just like,
right. But but people were mad at you because you're the face or the voice of the company. But you didn't make any of the decisions. Destiny's Child artists are businesses. Right. Managers manage the business. They do things. When you have problematic things, you have to do them. And so when that happens, so people are still mad about that. There's that. And then I think also in 2003 when she came out, people doubted her.
I mean, trust me, there are stories to this day saying
she's no Ashanti. That's my favorite one.
And I'm like, so here we are 10 years later, and Ashanti is doing what?
But here's the thing, though. Have you noticed that every level Beyonce reaches, they compare it to a different artist? Remember, first it was Ashanti. Then 2007, that's when it was her versus Rihanna, which I still don't understand that one. I still don't get it. I don't get it. Then 2008, it was her versus Gaga. Then it was her versus Adele. Then it was her versus Adele again. It was 2 albums of Adele. Then when she reached this formation level, she's just copying Janet Jackson. She's trying to have Rhythm Nation. It's like literally because people have been doubting her since 2003, and she keeps passing these artists, and people just cannot. It's like they're trying to hold on to the belief that she's this overrated artist. But when you talk to people about that, they never have actual facts to back up why they think she's overrated.
And it's always funny to watch them stumble over themselves. It's just like, okay, so why do you hate her? What? Like I just don't see the big deal. I just see folks now like, why do you hate her?
Yeah.
Why?
Like a real conversation.
I mean, honestly, some people have just genuinely told me like I don't like her music, and I'm like, okay,
fair,
that's fine,
fair.
But if you just have an unnecessary hate for this woman, and you just don't know where it comes from, you know what you sound like to me? A Trump supporter.
Yeah,
like you hate something, but you don't even know what you hate.
Exactly. It's a bandwagon thing too with hate too,
right. And
then also it's very much kind of like you can't say she's talentless by any words or form. Like
you really
she
can.
Sings live, she dances, performances are always on point. The music's good in my opinion, but people have this whole thing, and I'm like, so what is it? But then these people who don't like her tend to be fans of people who actually lack what she actually has. Because here's the thing, Janet Jackson is a fucking icon. But we all know she whispers
on every single song that she makes.
We all know that there was engineering in the studios to make her do what she does.
Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis, like they did everything they could with that woman.
Absolutely. I fucking love Janet Jackson with a passion, but I'm not going to be delusional and pretend that she's like this vocal goddess. She's a performer. She dances her fucking ass off.
And she will give you a concert.
She gives you a concert. It's fucking great. Her music also had a message. Janet gave you good social justice records. She gave you good stuff. She gave you an entire movement, and that's why I respect her.
Anybody that can have a brother like Michael Jackson, and step the hell out from behind him,
and be separate.
That right there is iconic in itself.
Absolutely.
But you know what the funny comparison was? When Solange came out with her album, and they were saying, "Okay, which one's better, Lemonade or Seat at the Table?" I'm like,
and they're sisters.
You understand that Tina knows Lawson. She has gold, in somewhere inside her because she made both of these women.
Yeah, but it's always a mission to take down Beyonce, and honestly, that's why LaToya Lucky's first album went #1. Latoya Luck is dope. I bought both albums.
Amazing.
I love her, but
Can't wait for this next album.
right. But people hated Beyonce so much.
They wanted Latoya to get
It
on.
made Latoya be number one. You cannot tell me otherwise. I remember it went number one, but the second album it did not. People have been want to dethrone Beyonce for so long that it's like, and it's like, why are y'all this mad about this? And I think it's also,
And they tried it with Kelly too.
yeah, but I think it's also that it's the whole idea of not perfection, but Beyonce has curated her life very well. She's been with the same man, kids with him. Her career has been pretty fucking flawless.
She controls her
She
own
controls
narrative.
everything. There's not a lot of drama surrounding her unless somebody creates it. So people constantly look, it's like, she's not who you think she is. She's not who you think she is.
You sure?
But it's like, but even if she is whatever you guys think she is, she's still a wonderful performer, and that's what she's there for. But
Right.
I don't understand like why the people it blows my mind that anytime there's an announcement about her, people literally fall off the edges, and I literally crack my mind like, why do you guys hate this girl so much? Like it's literally like, oh my, like people literally.
No, I call them fake stands because I think like you wouldn't go this hard if you wouldn't go this hard and you wouldn't study somebody this much if you didn't like them this much.
Yeah.
And it's just like you have to mask your love for her with hate because you just can't believe that you love the person.
It's so bad to the point that, first of all, I wish the word "stan." I wish Eminem never made that song, because when it comes to Beyonce, you can't just be a fan. It's either you're a stan or a hater. Have you noticed that? There's no in between. Because even when people like what she does, they always they put I'm no stan of Beyonce, but I do like that. It's like, why do we need this disclaimer?
You do understand that that's the definition of a.
Or at least of a fan, you know.
Okay.
But I've noticed that I'm not a Beyonce fan, but I
love it.
It's to the point that it's literally considered a negative to even remotely like her.
And you know what? It didn't get that way until Beyonce.
Yeah.
Did you you
It
realize
started
that?
with Beyonce.
It's just like people can't be just fans anymore because if even if you say you're part of the Beehive, they instantly have a thought in their head like, oh, okay,
You crazy, you gonna fight me.
Like
Oh, yeah.
if I say anything bad about Beyonce, you just gonna go ham. No, because understand, I love Beyonce, but Beyonce ain't paying my bills.
Right.
But I'm not crazy enough to sit back and say that I don't see the talent and I don't see the legendary.
I also tell people this too. I was all like, you have to realize that some of you guys antagonize people on purpose, though.
Yeah.
You find out they're a fan and you purposely like to rile up shit, so you say something really, really rude because you want that. So don't act.
You want that reaction,
right? And people say, "Well, why do you love her so much? She doesn't pay your bills." But guess what? She never did anything bad to you.
I can't.
Go for it.
Yesterday when y'all was watching Super Bowl, y'all was going hard calling the Falcons and the Patriots your team. Sweetie, when did you get signed to the NFL?
Yeah.
When?
And thank you for that too. Because an argument that people make anytime you have arguments or whatever about music, people are like, this is not a big deal. I'm like,
you don't even know her. Why you so happy?
But people go in. I was like, who said that sports are somehow better than music? Like, just like people argue about artists, you guys argue about fucking teams. It's the same
teams that you're not even on.
Right. It's the same concept. And so this whole idea that somehow sports take a precedent over, it doesn't. It just doesn't. It goes right in line with entertainment.
Because understand, and like y'all gonna be happy over basketball in a second and be annoying on social media.
Yeah.
So y'all can have a seat.
Yeah, but all that to say is I don't understand the disdain. I mean, I get it. Yes, fans, because I hate the word stands, can get extreme. Yes, absolutely. Not all of them, though.
Right.
But at the end of the day, it's fucking music and entertainment. If you enjoy it, you enjoy it. If you don't, you don't. But just because you see this girl's name, you don't have to fly off the walls and cry and do all this shit. Just log out and come back in a couple days. You'll be okay.
And also understand that we need some joy right now.
Right.
We really just need some damn joy right now, people. Do you not know that 45 is fucking a sideways girl?
Listen.
We need some joy right now. So if I'm gonna take joy in the fact that my favorite's pregnant, let me have that, because I'm gladly gonna let you have watching grown men run around the field or run around the court. I'm gonna let you have that.
Yeah, I think it's silly at the end of the day, because like I said, it's entertainment. let me get my life into it. Let me have an opinion about what I like about it. But it's like, just because I'm praising something doesn't mean you have to come and detract it, because we're just going to be mad at each other, because it's not going to change anything. When have you ever went to someone and said, Beyonce ain't this, and it went well?
It always goes left.
It always goes left.
Always
it's like saying all lives matter. It always goes
like, and see,
left.
then I'm going to fight you. It's like, that's not good for either one of us.
Well, let's move on before somebody say, oh, they really spent 20 minutes talking about Beyonce. Oh my God, I'm gonna
You'll
stop
be
listening.
all right.
I'm gonna stop listening. Oh my God, I hate her so much. Why? Kelly Price is coming back. Kelly Price is coming back. Ashanti
Bye.
gonna slay her again.
Bye.
Ashanti is gonna slay her again.
Oh no,
Moke and Steph is gonna come and kill Beyonce.
Oh no, Keisha Cole got a new song.
Right.
Why don't I talk about that?
She's the real MVP. She talks about. Let me stop. All right, so next thing. Okay, so I just want to talk quickly about current entertainment. Since Insecure and Power and Survivor's Remorse, and what else were we watching? It was another show that we were. Oh, fucking Queen Sugar. Since they've been off the air, you know, it's kind of there's like a void in a sense.
Right.
So I'm constantly looking for like shows and stuff to watch, just to kind of hold me over until they come back, because that's just the best time of the year in my opinion.
Amen.
They're great shows. So I've been kind of looking for things to watch. I just want to highlight like current like television and movies that have been like, oh, this is good. So I'll start with a show I recently watched on Hulu. It's called Please Like Me.
Okay.
It's so fucking good. I binge watched all 4 seasons in like 2 weeks. They're short seasons though. It goes like, I think it's 6 shows, 10 shows, 6 shows, 10 shows. I don't know if there's some kind of Illuminati code to that, but that's how it goes.
What is it, HBO?
It's actually an Australian show.
Of course it is.
It's an Australian show. It's actually a gay show. And it starts with this guy pretty much accepting the fact that he's gay. Like, he has a girlfriend. It opens up with the girlfriend saying, you know what, we should break up. And he's like, oh, that sucks. She's like, well, you're gay. And he's all like, what? And she's like, can we just like,
let's just be real.
and it's literally the beginning of him accepting his sexuality and him going through all and it's so fucking good. The biggest criticisms from me, it's Australian, so there's not a black person. Like, there's one, like, as an extra. But here's the gag, though. They love Beyonce, and they talk about Beyonce often. So I'm like, hey, at least you know. Beyonce makes an appearance, like, as far as, like, they talk about her a lot, too. And they talk about race relations and shit, too. Even though it's no black people, he does talk about racism and shit. So it's a really funny show. Really, really witty. They're kind of assholes. Like, it's a really funny-ass show. It's a dramedy, so serious things happen, but it's really good. Once you get past, like, the accents aren't bad. I did have subtitles, like, the first day just to make sure that I was hearing what I heard. But after I'm like, okay, I know what they're saying. I'll take the subtitles off. It's still English.
It's just the kind of...
It's the accent. It's an Australian accent, you know? And then on top of that, it is weird seeing them drive on the opposite end of the car. You're just like, wait, why is the passenger? Oh, right, their cars are. Once you get past that, you're good.
The only country that really does the whole driving on the left side is kind of us.
Yeah, exactly. So the show is really, really good. It's really funny. It's an easy binge watch. I think the writing is brilliant, and the lead character, Josh Thomas, he actually is his show. He wrote it. He writes and produces it, and he'll be 30 this year. Oh, and so I was just really impressed by that. Like, it's a great show. So it's called Please Like Me. It's on Hulu. All the seasons are there. I don't know if it's coming back or not, because season 4 it ended in a way that it could go either way.
Like, it could either be the series finale or...
Yeah, but it was a great way where it's like, you'll be okay if it doesn't come back, but it could come back. So, okay. But there's 4 seasons for you to binge. It's really, really good. Something else I watched last week was Imperial Dreams with John Boyega and his fine ass. And
tell me about that, because I've been wanting to watch that. I just haven't had the time to sit down and watch it.
I told someone that is Menace to Society in rehab. It's literally. I mean, I could be wrong, but I believe it's in the Jordan Down Projects, just like Menace to Society. Glenn Plumell's in it. He was also in South Central. Same guy, he's in it. DeAndre Bonds from The Wood is in it. It's literally, you see these appearances, and it's basically, the premise is, he gets out of, who is this? Oh, child. he gets out of prison, and then it's just being in the system, of like the fucked up system of it. He has a son, and just it's like a couple weeks, I think, of him being out of prison or jail.
So it's essentially the part 2.
Yeah, it's very much Minister Society, South Central. Like, it's literally the same situation, but it's like a nod to it. I enjoyed it. I also enjoyed John Boyega using an American accent, though. Like,
I just want to look at it.
It was so, like, it's so good, though. And then his thickness should be praised. He has the perfect thickness. Like, there's a lot of running scenes.
He's slim thick.
He's slim. Well, yeah, very much so. There's a lot of running scenes and those hips, man. I was like, oh my God. And then, like, when you wear the right size big t-shirt, it actually accents in an opposite way. And just that ass was just running around streets of LA. And I just said, listen, like, this might be Bay number 6027. Like,
be like, look.
Right. Like,
I will fight you over him. I have no problem with it.
I had to add him to the list because I wasn't necessarily sold on, was it Star Wars or it was Star Wars.
It was Star Wars.
Yeah, I wasn't necessarily sold. I was like, whatever, he's cool. And I saw some Tumblrs. I was like, okay, he's kind of cute. But then we're seeing him use this American accent and this way he was acting in the movie. And then Anika Noni Rose is in it as well. I love her too.
All right,
it's a solid
settled
movie. Right. It was a solid movie. So that's on Netflix. So yeah, I would say check that out. And then and you actually, I think you're the one who put me on to the next thing. It was the Pioneers of African American Cinema. I think you posted the Slate article that they were going to be on Netflix.
Because Netflix will always find a way to get my money.
You want to cancel them? They're like we're adding Living Single. Life. Life. I'll be here forever. I'll be here forever. Yeah.
But yeah, because I saw that and I said, oh, okay, so y'all just going to put all the movies on. Okay.
Yeah.
Got it.
Yeah. So I started watching that yesterday. Okay.
Now I haven't started it yet, so
okay.
I'll
give you a general. I only watched the first movie.
Okay.
So what it does is, so basically the premise is this: they found like the first filmmakers in general, like from 1940 something, like self-taught.
Mm-hmm.
They pretty much archived these different movies that they had. Mm-hmm. And it's just black cinema, and it's I think it's refreshing to watch. It's fascinating, especially going back to like the 40s and just seeing the different values. But I am going to talk in detail, a little detail about the first movie because it was hilarious to me.
Okay,
it's hilarious. So the first movie is a silent film, and before every clip, they give you a background on, how it got to be. So it started off with like, okay, so this was a clip that this director made. And the point was, it was a film that they played in churches across America to get people to, convert to
Christianity.
I was like, oh,
convert to white Jesus.
And I was like, oh shit.
Okay.
But I'm gonna go ahead and watch because something tells me this is gonna be entertaining for me.
Come on.
And I know I don't really do church anymore, so I was like, oh yes, I'm watching this. So I grabbed my drink in the name of the Lord. And I was like, let's get
to watch
ready. So the film was called Hellbound Train.
Oh, Lord.
And Satan is the engineer. Okay? Hey!
Oh,
Ebo Shy. So
I can just hear the sermon now.
It was so good. So, mind you, it's a silent film. Uh-huh. So they will put like little cues on the screen of what's happening.
Hold on. What was it? Actual black folks? Or
it's black people.
Okay.
It's all black people.
I thought it was white folks and blackface. I was about to be like, oh.
Nope. It's actual black people.
Okay.
It's actual black people. And so basically the premise is there's this train that's going to hell, and each coach has different sins in it, okay? So the first coach, I'm not going to go through all of them, but just give you an example. The first coach was dancing. I said, oh, let's watch this
like,
shit.
Let's see what this is.
Because it was like today's dancing is very lustful. But here's the gag.
Keep in mind, y'all, this is the 40s. This is 40s and 50s.
They wasn't even juking.
They had at least about an inch space.
They were ballroom dancing. They were literally ballroom dancing, right?
They was touching.
Here's the gag. One girl was ballroom dancing. Next scene, she pregnant. I said, I can't do it. I said, that was quick. It was so quick.
I mean, well, then again, I've seen let out at 2 a.m. at the club. So
right.
That makes sense.
So ultimately, that gives you a premise of where this film is gonna go. I was like, so I kept watching. It was like 50 minutes. They went through every sin they could possibly come up with. One was like, oh, the devil loves it when a husband is giving the mistress all of his money while his wife suffers. You see this devil laughing. You see this wife just struggling by like a like a pot of water.
So in essence, it was a small town carnival show, wasn't it?
Excellent, very much Tyler Perry tease.
Okay,
very much so. Everybody gets AIDS.
I must watch.
Everybody gets AIDS. This was before AIDS.
And then a nice light skinned black man comes
to save everyone. Yep, that's how it works. Yes.
Oh, and mind you, he's poor.
He's poor
because the dark skinned one was rich and evil.
Right, but she can deal with it because he's he treats her nice.
Speaking of Tyler Perry,
my lord,
Greenleaf's coming back next month.
Is he? He's not connected.
No, he's not.
Okay,
that's Oprah.
It works out,
but it's still the same premise.
Yeah.
But Greenleaf's coming back next month, and I cannot freaking wait.
I have to watch the last 2 episodes of the first season.
Me too. But it's just like
it's coming to Netflix though.
It is.
Yeah, they announced it last week. It was a big deal, so they're gonna get exclusivity to it.
They always find a way to get my cat.
I mean, you gotta stay. I mean, I've learned to just keep Netflix. Yeah, well, I mean,
I'm never gonna leave them.
Yeah, Netflix and Hulu.
Because they got my Unbreakable Kimmy Schmidt. Mm-hmm. They got my
Unbreakable. I'm sorry.
They got my Grace and Frankie, and I can't wait till that comes back.
Yeah.
But they have all my shows, and also I need to get on the quad too.
Yeah. Well, I saw the trailer. I wasn't quite sold. I said I would watch one episode just to be fair.
Then you can watch the movie.
Oh, it's a movie?
No, it's the movie that starts.
It's that extended version,
exactly,
kind of like The Breaks did, and
exactly.
then another show did that too. Well, Being Mary Jane did that, where it's just like, all this shit.
Oh, speaking of her,
I haven't seen the last episode.
I'll glaze over that. Man, Pauletta is just dumb.
She plays her role.
She's just dumb. I mean, Gabby gives you in that role, but Pauletta's dumb. Mm. I'm like, baby, why would you throw this man out for saying that he doesn't want to move in with you, even though you just met him like 5 minutes ago,
well, man.
And y'all just got back together from when you broke up the Pauletta.
It's accurate though. Like there are people who like it. It's hard for me because I thought about this with Insecure and Molly's character. Mm-hmm. You have these people who are really fucking intelligent and smart and have these high profile careers still making dumb ass decisions everywhere else.
Exactly.
And you're like, but how'd you get, like, especially Molly, you're a lawyer. That means you've studied different behaviors and cases and things. Why can't you apply this to your life?
You know what? And I actually, because I know how Molly thinks because I tend to be Molly. But it's just like you, in business and in your professional life, you have it together. You can get everything done without even blinking. But when it comes to personal, that's where things get a little bit fuzzy.
Yeah.
And
well, I think in a sense it's natural to feel like you're invincible to things and that you don't have to follow advice, if that makes sense, or follow cautionary tales. We somehow think that sometimes our stories are just going to be different, and we'll make a clear mistake and ignore our intuition and everything.
And we'll have our friends telling us like, so you know that was you know that was kind of screwball, right?
Right.
But we call those haters.
Let's call a thing a thing.
Exactly. But with Molly, she thinks she is, and I saw it in her. It's like she's starting to realize that, oh shit, I'm almost 30, and most of the women that I know were married with kids by 30. I have to have that, and she's pressing herself to get that, not realizing that, but you don't need that though, sis.
And you also need to be in reality too, because
exactly.
it wasn't most of the women. Issa wasn't married. Oh, the other girl, funny girl was.
Oh no, she thought she was better than Issa.
Well, funny girl wasn't married. The bougie one was, but she was caught in patriarchy.
But that marriage, no, baby, you're a stud. Don't play yourself.
Right, but she follows patriarchy, that full submission of like,
not stud, you're a beard.
Right, and so sometimes you have to look and like, okay, realistically, are people really this well off? Like, cause no shade, the people I know who are married, they ain't that goddamn happy.
or if they are happy, that you barely ever see them.
You barely ever see them. So that's that. So I don't want to drag too long. Would you do you have any shows that you're watching right now to fill the time?
honestly, I've been watching older shows. Like
I've been
like,
binge watching Living Single on Fire Stick, so I understand.
Okay, don't judge, but I've literally been. I just got done watching Futurama.
Okay, go ahead.
Like, and that was Matt Groening is hilarious.
Yeah,
he is just hilarious.
Yeah, I have to get into Futurama.
And I really and I realized something too. Bender is Joanne the Scammer.
Yeah,
Bender is Joanne.
I gotta watch that show. Have you ever watched Steven Universe?
I haven't had the time to actually sit down and watch it the way I want to, but
it's the first episode is confusing.
It's a real show
in my opinion
with real issues.
It is, but after you get it, you're like, I get it, and it just gets so
like,
good.
I'm present. I'm here.
And
what else you got?
It builds on top of everything. I'm like, damn, this goddamn cartoon is deep as fuck. Like, I'm over here wiping tears and shit. Like, wait, hold on. I love Garnett Estelle's character. I just naturally, it's a bias, but that's a great one. What else are you watching?
And also, I'm going to start watching the Santa Clarita Diet because I love Drew Barrymore.
Yeah,
I do. And I saw the trailer and it looked pretty interesting. So I just want to see what that is.
I watched an episode and a half yesterday.
How was it? Be honest.
Okay. I had to okay. They purposely, it's campy. They purposely make it campy. And I had to realize that. Because I was like, why is everybody acting so bad? But it's on purpose. Because you have...
That's just the stick of the show.
You have great actors in there. I'm like, why is everybody acting so badly? Like, terribly. And you'll see what I mean. But it's on purpose. And I was like, oh, it's on purpose. Because I'm like, what? Someone made a great example. They said it's a mix between Desperate Housewives, The Walking Dead, and... they said one other show, like True Blood or something. They said something else three, and I was like, that's perfect. That's true. It feels like that. It has that colorfulness of Housewives, where you're just like, it's really colorful. It is funny, but it's also gory too. And it's cool. I don't know that I'm sold yet, because I actually turned off episode 2 halfway through. I was like, I'm not paying attention enough, so I'll come back to it.
Right.
But yeah, I like Drew Barrymore. I do question her acting sometimes, because it always seems like she's reading a prompter. I don't know, like, it always feels like her acting always feels like she's reading a script in front of her, and it bothers me. But I like her, so I'll go back. But people who love it. People are like, I'm binge watching it. Oh my god! And I wanted that same experience, but it
just didn't. Ooh, okay. So I binge watched the show last year, and it's become one of my favorite shows.
What's that?
Jane the Virgin.
I did enjoy Jane the Virgin. I only got to like episode 4, but that was because I was watching too much shit at the same time that it fell off. But I did enjoy it.
Like Gina Rodriguez. Could not get her name out. Sorry, girl. Gina Rodriguez. Love her, and have loved her since I saw her on Happy Endings.
Yes,
which I was very sad with.
That was a great show.
But I loved her when she played the assistant, and now that she's on Jane the Virgin, it's just like, okay, this was perfect for you. Like, and you know what? I hate the fact that they're trying to play it. Well, I know it's supposed to be a telenovela, but I hate the fact that they're kind of playing.
It actually is a telenovela that they recreated.
Yeah, it is. It's a lot more campier.
Yeah,
but you know, I like that. But I was sitting there like, why are they trying to play up this whole Michael and Raphael thing? But then I was like, wait, it's for the drama. It makes sense.
As I get older, I have to start realizing that, though. You'll watch shows, you'll be like, why are they doing this to the show? But then I have to be like, well, Kevin, if everything went the way you wanted it to go, there wouldn't be a show. It would just end. Like
everything would be resolved in like
for instance, if Issa and Lawrence stayed together, well, shit, yay! But we need them to, like, so you can be in your, like, it has to happen. So.
And speaking of Insecure, that was much.
It was
like when I went in the show with Lawrence busting Tasha's back out. I said, oh,
it was bittersweet because I loved seeing it, but it was just so wrong.
It was just like, what? Huh?
It was so wrong.
But the fact that he was boom, 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 boom,
tearing it up.
fucking ass.
He was
like
essentially
something.
he was essentially hitting it the way Issa has been wanting him to hit.
Pretty much,
Which
and
I thought
that's
was
irony for you.
It was irony, but I've also learned because I've been in that predicament too, and we'll talk about that with our main topic, which we haven't even gotten to yet. Yes, time. Essentially, it's like that. It's like sometimes Janet Jackson had a song on her album, "Fuck Me Like You Don't Love Me," because sometimes you get that beat it up sex with people that you're just hooking up with, but when someone actually cares, it's like they care that you're not
Like
hurting.
they want to be fragile.
They're like, oh no, does it hurt? No. Sometimes you're like, nigga, beat me
like,
up.
nigga, if you don't choke me and okay.
Sometimes you need that, and that's how I feel. I'm like, and that's how kind of for me. I'm like, he doesn't care about Tasha. That was literally a rebound
like,
hit
like,
up.
like I'm just banging
I'm
you
pulling
just
your
because
hair.
I need
And the
because
pussy
I need
was
to be-
available.
I need to be angry right now.
Exactly.
Like that was angry sex.
It's angry, but it was kind of ironic that that's literally what Issa's wanted all along. I just want you to beat it up real quick, do this, like it could work out, and I get it.
Like I need to feel you in my insides.
And,
I just need.
and that will be our transition into the main topic. Okay, so I saw this article on BeliefNet.com. It was written by the editor Angela Guzman, and it was 6 things that people don't discuss before it's too late in relationships. So this is going to be the premise of our conversation. We're going to go through each of them, and we're going to either agree, disagree, and elaborate. Whether you agree or disagree, you have to elaborate on your answer. Give examples of your shit, give examples of other people's shit, but let's just literally just break it apart because I thought it was a really good article, but we really should go through them.
See what it says.
You saw what?
See what it says.
See what it says. So once again, and I'll put the link in the info box if you guys want to actually go and read it for yourselves. But it's 6 relationship topics people don't discuss until it's too late. Okay, so the number 1, well, it wasn't the top. I don't think there was any particular order. So the first one was finances. And this is what it says. It's important to be on the same page when it comes to the finances. Discuss what money is coming in, going out, the investment decisions being made. Most couples argue about money at some point in their relationship, but the key is developing a solution. Come up with a budget that allows both parties to be equally involved and allows each individual to have an opportunity to voice their feedback. Okay. So, agree, disagree, elaborate.
Agree with an asterisk.
Yes.
Agree only if y'all live together.
Okay.
Because if we're staying in 2 different places or we just got together, there's no need to discuss my money with you. There's no need. Yeah. Now, if you stay here and you're paying bills and rent here, then yes, we need to sit down and say, okay, I'm paying for this, you're paying for that. How we gonna fix this? Right. But if we're not like physically living together, no.
Yeah, I feel that. I also agree. Finances do need to be talked about, especially in a living situation. Now, here's something that's interesting, and I don't know how I necessarily feel about it, good or bad. Me and my ex, I don't think I knew how much money he made. I know he knew how much I made because he was a nosy motherfucker. But
fair enough.
We never actually talked about it. And I always thought that was interesting. I've talked to other couples, and it's kind of like that with them too. They'll be like, oh, he knows ballpark, but he doesn't know the exact number. I'm like, but you guys are going to be married though. Like,
I mean, some folks think like, my money's my money, and I don't need you counting my money.
But if you're sharing because I think about my parents, my mama know how much my daddy made. He knew how much, this is the number. Hell, she got the check before he did.
My mama and daddy the same way too.
So I was like, okay, but they were married.
Right.
So my thing is, at a point I think you will know exact numbers. You can't be secretive forever, but at the same time,
you don't get it out on the first date.
Exactly. What point do you share? Do you share it at marriage or when you live together?
I say you share it when you live together. Okay. And I say that because again, they're paying rent here, they're paying bills here. So y'all need to sit down, be responsible, and say, okay, I'm bringing this in, you bringing this in. You pay this, I pay this.
Now, challenge. We don't do that with our roommates, though. You can live with a roommate and never know how much you make. This is the rent. This is what you owe.
Okay.
So that's what I'm saying. Like, is there a certain point where you're like, okay, we can disclose this? I mean, by all means, get a trust. Understand that there's a trust there, because I don't trust everybody with money. Because with my ex, we really did not. We discussed bills, we paid bills, everything was on time, we were good. You know, we knew what each other could handle. Because sometimes you have to know that, am I making more money than you, or you make? Because sometimes you have to make allotments, because sometimes it's hard, and you got to be like, I might have to carry a little bit more than you.
Like, and it's just like you don't want to live beyond your means as well, too.
Right. And I've got you going on all these goddamn trips.
Be like,
and you can't really afford them. So it's a respect, like, okay, I know you don't make that much
as a
money.
matter of fact, the Reed had a letter about this on last Thursday.
Okay.
Did you listen last week?
I did listen last week.
Okay, so you remember the girl that said she was tired of paying for her best friends?
Yes.
And I just thought about that, like, okay, so you are the one that's wanting to do all this rich stuff.
Yeah.
Your friends ain't able. So in respect to the question, again, I say you all need to sit down and say, okay, this is how much I'm bringing in. Ballpark figures. But I really don't think that I really don't think that they need to know the exact number.
We're talking about couples.
Couples, yeah.
Okay.
Because
I'm not telling my friends like, tell me that.
Girl, please. Like I'm like, y'all better hope I tell y'all have a job.
Right.
As long as that rent's getting paid, you have no questions.
Right.
But yeah, the ballpark figure, just to say, like, this is how much I bring in.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and this is how much I'm like, and this is what I'm gonna take. So
Yeah.
it's like it's
Ballpark.
like that.
Just so they know. That makes sense. And then also, especially if you get married. Before you get married, you do have to talk about debt. How much debt do you have?
Oh no, that needs to be discussed. Needs to be in that discussion when you sitting down dealing bills.
Right. Well, sometimes, and here's the thing though, because I learned a lot, not necessarily negative, but just a lot, because there was a slip up when we got our place together. Mm-hmm. I think she probably assumed that we were probably already married or something.
Right.
And so she was like, oh, tell him to bring me this information about this and that and that and that. And I was just like, you probably shouldn't have said that to me. I told her, I said, how about you call him and ask him, because he hasn't actually explained some things to me yet. So she was like,
all this is news to me.
Right, and that's what I'm saying. So some things kind of come out. I was like, well, shit.
Where was I when this was
going on? Well, you learn that, like, you can learn about, like, that's what I'm saying. Like, so there's certain things that, so finances definitely need to be discussed so it doesn't come up and be a sore problem later.
Right.
Talk about what you can do, because some people like to live lavish lives and some people like to be more simple. Like, for me, I am low maintenance. I like low maintenance shit. I like doing fun things. I like experiences. I do like traveling. But I can't ball out like some people do. Some people can just look like, I'm doing this now. I'm like, I gotta save up.
Be like, that's cool for you,
Right.
But...
And there's some people,
Sally Man, all them girls,
right?
They're gonna call me in a little while saying, "So I see you went to Cabo. Mm-hmm. Where's my money?"
Right, and that's exactly what happens. And so yeah, you definitely have to talk about things like that, expectations, especially when it comes to like gifts and shit. Because some people like love languages too. Some people like big ass gifts. Some people like certain gestures, and it's like, if I can't afford that.
Like,
that's going to be a sore spot
I need to tell you that now.
Especially if you're not equally yoked. I mean, you see it all the time where you'll have a couple where one person's like a fucking lawyer or engineer or some shit, and the other one's
working at the call center,
right? Or a manager at damn Macy's or something. Like,
right.
Like it's a different, and you have to realize, like, you can't expect too much, and that's why it can be a deal breaker if you wait too late to talk about it. So
right.
I think we both agree with that one. That's good. So we'll move on from that one. So finances was number 1. All right, number 2. I have it on my little list here too. Mm-hmm. All right, so trust. And it says, as ironic as it may be, a lot of couples do not discuss their issues with trust until it's too late. Instead of waiting until the trust circle is broken, couples should make it a priority to talk about the trust within their relationship. Discussing this topic early on will help to alleviate any insecurities from either individual that are being casted as trust issues, but are individual issues entirely. Okay. So agree, disagree, elaborate.
Agree.
Okay.
The first thing I tell somebody when they give me want to talk to me is, you need to be honest with me. Mm-hmm. You just need to be honest with me. Like, I don't care if it's hurtful. I don't care. I don't care.
Yeah.
Just
tell me.
Just open your mouth, because the way I see it, if you don't open your mouth, I can't make adjustments. So if you want something and I don't know, that means that
Yeah.
Candy said it best. If you have a problem and I don't know about it, or I should say, if we have a problem and I don't know about it,
You
got
have a problem. That's real. I agree as well. And I do believe in that same honesty piece, saying what it is. And I remember
Call a thing a thing.
Yeah, and I remember being in a relationship before the relationship started. You know, when that infatuation kicks, you be like, damn, we've had a couple of dates. I really, really, really like this person. I remember having a conversation with him. I said, listen, I have a lot of anxiety right now because I'm really, really feeling you. And I do feel that you are feeling me too. But I have to be honest with you. It scares me because I have dealt with so many moments like this and have them fall off. I'm frightened by it.
Like, I'm almost expecting that
Right.
to happen.
And so I want to move forward with you, but I need to know that you're not going to be on some bullshit. Like, save me that thing. And they did.
Just open your mouth.
Right. And they were like, I do feel the same way about you, and I got you. And we actually ended up being together for a while. So it definitely worked in that sense. And then also, when it comes to trust, I do feel like not enough people are resolving their shit before moving on.
They're trying to bring access back into the
Yeah.
new relationship, and it's like, okay, I get it. You've been hurt before. It happens. It's normal, but you can't expect the next person to do that same thing to you.
Yeah. And you also
especially if they're just now meeting,
Right.
and they don't know this.
And you can't apply that burden to them. I think a lot of times we try to make people responsible for what somebody else did, and that's not fair at all to the new person. They didn't do that to you. Resolve your issues within, forgive, or whatever you have to do to move on from that other person. But I think that's also dangerous when people are serial monogamous too, though, where you're jumping from relationship to relationship.
Also understand one thing too. Tell people your triggers. Let people know your triggers before you go forward. Because if you tell somebody that you're uncomfortable with something and they didn't know beforehand, that's your fault.
Exactly.
Because they can't make adjustments if they don't know.
Right.
Now that they know, if they're still doing it,
Different story.
exactly. But if they say something or do something that reminds you of an ex, reminds you of like something that happened, some trauma you had, let them know.
Right.
So they can make adjustments and say, I'm gonna be with you or I'm not.
Right. And I think something I think about too, as far as like, there's a difference between having intuition and just being plain old stubborn.
Right.
And so you have to allow for a space to listen to your heart and say, okay, something might not be right, but you also have to understand that everyone isn't the same. And not everyone
They're just not.
Everyone's not out to get you or hurt you either. So it's about finding that balance. I also have a question too. Do you start with trust, or does someone earn trust?
Good question. For me, you have to earn it.
Okay.
But if you come out the gate and you're lying,
Yeah.
then I bring you all the way down. Like,
Especially about stupid shit. I cannot stand somebody who lie about some stupid shit. You be like, well, shit, if you lie about the damn...
like, what you gonna do with the big shit?
Right.
Be like, and I think of it like this. If the Lord says the same, I'll be 27 years old in August. I don't have time to sit back and lie about things that you can clearly see.
Right.
So that I want to deal with guys that are the same way. Just like, open your mouth.
Yeah.
And just say what it is. Say what you want. Say what you need. And I'll make it do.
Yeah.
But if you don't say something, I can't do anything.
Right.
That old adage of if you see something, say something.
That
works with me.
Yeah. And some people are uncomfortable with the idea of transparency. Some people just like, oh, well, that's probably too much. And I'm like, no, like it's we're being honest and we're being real.
I mean, I do get that. I'm sorry. I do get that idea of being very guarded with yourself, because a lot of people are trash. But
Basura.
at the same time, if you like, you have to make a decision within yourself to say, I'm going to be with this person. I'm going to give them what I have.
Yeah.
And if you can't do that, then it's just best to walk away.
That's real. That's real. Yeah, because trust is a very sensitive thing, and I've learned from experiences. Once it's lost,
It's gone.
Yeah, it's trash. And you can't. It's hard. You can't really build back. You'll always have in the back of your mind. So it's like, why not just be honest about what you're going through and see what you can do, versus losing that trust and always being made to be like a liar in a sense. Like, you know, because once you do it, it's like, oh, how do I know you're telling the truth now? You know.
I'm questioning everything that comes out of your mouth. Yeah, what's your real name?
Exactly, child. Is this your hair? All right. So the next one is intimacy. Intimacy is a very important subject that should be discussed openly amongst couples. While the general subject may cause people to blush or feel uneasy, intimacy is an important topic of discussion that couples should have on a regular basis. If you're not comfortable discussing topics surrounded around sex with your partner, then there is a deeper issue at hand that should be addressed. Make sure that you're completely honest with your partner so that no one feels like they're being left in the dark. So, from what I gather, that's freaky shit. Because it's saying like, well,
I mean, that's what I was saying.
it's like, it's like, oh well, it comes down to this. Because I know, like, I had an ex who actually, apparently, before me, didn't like kissing, and I'm like, that's weird as fuck. He was like, I just don't like kissing. I'm like, but you eat booty though. Like, I don't understand why.
Does not compute.
But some people feel like that's too intimate. Especially, you have some people who are like self-hating gays. They feel like what they're doing is wrong anyway. So they feel like, oh, I can't kiss another man, but I can do all this other shit.
But you're butt naked and I'm on top of you.
Right.
How is this working?
All I know is he was just like, yeah, I don't do that. There was another guy that I was talking to, and he was trying to smash and everything. And he wouldn't kiss me. I'm like, dude, I'm uncomfortable with this. Like, I'm uncomfortable. Like, the fact that you won't kiss makes me feel like I'm not a prostitute.
I feel like I'm a $2 whore.
Right. Like, no, like, you don't get to get access to my orifices. Like, what the fuck?
Like,
and
no.
Right. And so some people, kissing, hugging, because some people don't like to be touched all the time, or you want someone under you. Some people are like, yeah, no, I don't need all
cuddling.
of that. Go cuddling. You know, there's that. And then sex. How do you like?
Also PDA too.
PDA. These are things to talk about. Holding hands and
kissing in public.
And how are you with PDA?
It depends on the person.
It depends on the
person. Well, you know what? Let me rephrase that. It depends on how long we've been together, because I'm a big fan of PDA. Like, I'm one where I'll kiss you on the cheek. I'll be hugged up on you in public. I'll be scratching your belly, shit like that. Like, I'm one where I'm really, really touchy-feely. So, and I'm like that with really anybody. So, if I'm with you, now I'm not saying I'm gonna be like we screwing in public,
right?
But I'm going to be touchy-feely because in my mind, you're my boyfriend, you're my boo, you're my bae. So I'm going to be that touchy-feely person.
Yeah, I agree. It depends on who you're with. And then,
like, you can't do that with somebody who you've been with all 2 days.
No, not at all. But if you've been with them for a while, absolutely. And it depends on where we are too. Type of environment. I don't like too much, because some of it I don't want shit to appear showy. Sometimes I feel like people do a lot just to be like, oh, we're in a relationship. I'm not that guy. But if I do see,
but you can also tell those people.
You can certainly
like,
tell.
because if they're literally sticking their tongues down,
you're like,
every 5 minutes, it's like, okay,
that's
I got
not
it.
My thing. I'm okay.
I get it.
I'm okay with a peck, like, oh, okay, hey, like, whatever, or like
a little kiss on the temple,
right? Or
like that.
Yeah, especially like, especially in that moment where you just like really care about somebody, you see them, you just want to just touch them really quick, a quick little embrace, hug, a kiss,
like those stolen moments that people weren't supposed to see.
Yeah,
But if you're making it blatantly obvious that you trying to slide them down. I'm like,
Yeah,
girl.
and I don't like I don't like that from anybody, straight, gay, whatever. It's
just awkward to watch.
It's too much, right? So, but I do like PDA. Like I will hold your hand, I will hug you. That's not a big deal,
Right.
But just like that, just all over, nah, cool. Because if that's the case, why we come out? Let's go home and fuck. Like, why are we out? Why are we out? We can go home and just handle this right now.
The bed is right
We
there.
can save money at the house.
And also with this question, if you're going to discuss the intimacy of it, like the kissing and touching and the hugging, please tell people your kinks.
Exactly.
Please tell people your kinks.
Yeah.
Because you don't want to bring somebody home and they think, oh, he cool, he comfortable, da da da. You walk out in a jock strap, a whip, and some candle wax, and they're like, "Hold, wait,
Right.
time, I wasn't ready."
And that's important too, and that breaks people up too, because what happens is, because people aren't honest about what they're into, then you start saying, okay, so I like golden showers, and I'm not shaming anybody who likes golden showers.
Get it how you live.
They're getting their life, and that's what I'm saying. But not everyone's going to be into it.
You have to tell people this up front.
But then,
or you know what? Not up front.
Not up front.
Don't say this on the first date.
No, hell no.
But if y'all have made a conscious decision to have sex, let him know.
Start
okay, so
talking about
I'm
it.
into this.
And then you have to also understand that people have fetishes more than they like to admit to.
Right.
And then number one is you stop judging people because their fetish is different from yours. Because somebody probably hear you that you like feet and be like, nigga, what, you like feet? Like, people have things that they're into.
I mean, some people, honestly, some people really only just go in the bedroom and do missionary.
Right.
Like, that's all they do.
It's safe.
So anything anything they do is gonna be outrageous to them.
It's safe.
So I get it, but if somebody over here wants to fuck in the park in the rain, don't deny them of that.
Right. But it's important to talk about it and then say what you're comfortable with and what you're not, because that might be like, okay, I have to tap out because I'm not comfortable with it. And also, I'm going to throw into intimacy, polygamy, or the idea of open relationships. Like, you have to talk about that shit.
You do.
You have to, no matter how uncomfortable it is, because you have to get that out the way.
Especially considering you both need to be in a polygamous relationship.
Yeah.
Like, if one of y'all is a polygamist and the other person is a monogamist, that just means you're cheating, baby. That's
and the other person, and it's just important to talk about it. You got to be comfortable with it. You have to get there, and that connects to the trust thing that we just talked about. That way, you're building trust. By talking about it, you're alleviating betrayal.
Exactly.
When you don't talk about things and do things behind each other's back, that's the drama. Imagine just being able to say, hey, this is what I like. You can say yes or no and go from there, and everyone gets to make their own decisions about it and be cool with it and decide if you want to move on. So that was intimacy. All right. The next one is feelings. Okay, feelings. So it says this: be honest about your feelings 100% of the time. It's important to not propose a standoffish persona when it comes to your feelings and your partner. Be upfront and let your partner know how you're feeling, despite any fears you may have. If feelings are not discussed in the present, then aggression and anxiety will build up and cause a much worse outcome that may be irreversible in the future. Oh, Jesus, that's a word.
I'm feeling triggered.
Right. Strive to
triggered.
be honest, and instead of worrying about the other's reaction, be more consumed with how to improve the situation at hand. Listen, that's a word. So agree, disagree. Right. Agree, disagree, elaborate.
I feel red. Like, I feel red. I feel triggered. I'm like,
yeah.
How do you know my life?
Feelings are important because I think a lot of times, like, I always think about a new relationship,
Right.
you know, when you're learning each other. And I know a big thing for me, I like my time to be respected. I hate people who disrespect my time. I don't like people who are late. Consistently, it's gonna happen. You're gonna be late.
But if you 3 or 4 hours late,
or if you're consistently late, you have no respect for my time. There was this guy that I was dating, and he would invite me over and always leave me waiting outside his place. And it got to, I think, I checked him the first time because I was like, nigga, it took him almost 45 minutes. And I was literally I was actually pulling in my car and pulling out when he pulled up. And I was like, I was leaving.
Like, I was about to
and I told him, I said,
go.
don't you ever fucking do that to me again. We have phones and planners and times for a reason. The clock is there for a reason. If you say this time, I expect you to do this time. And it's not me being a bitch or whatever. Respect my time.
Respect me.
Right. And he didn't communicate. And then the second time, he had his roommate contact me. I said, so you're going to be a coward and have your roommate say, oh, it was my fault. Tell me that you are busy with this roommate, and
that's
I will.
when I would have been like,
Right.
no,
Yeah, no.
tell your roommate, lose my number.
Right, but that's what I'm saying, but I could have easily just been like, it's okay, something happened, I'm not gonna do it, and been mad as fuck. No, check that shit.
Speaking of, I hate passive aggressiveness.
Yeah,
I hate
it's
it with a
hard.
passion. Like if you feel a way, if you hate something, say it.
Yeah.
Because again, I can't make adjustments if you don't tell me
Right.
what's going on.
As a former passive aggressive person, it comes from constantly being muted and not liking confrontation. Growing up,
trust me, I know.
growing up, I had a lot of aggressive people in my life who either protected me or kind of not bullied me, but you always feel like it was going to be a fight.
They were overbearing.
Yeah, they were overbearing. And anytime you express something, it's like they would just turn it on you and make you feel bad about it. So you get to a point where you're just like, I just rather just
Sit in my own.
I'd rather
world.
shut down or Tamar leave.
Be like,
Or yeah.
or even like Cinderella, be in my own little corner, my own little chair, be whoever the hell I want to be.
Exactly. And so what happens is it comes out of not want to be. You just don't want that drama. It's hard. But then you end up hurting yourself though, because you're not getting your needs met and you're not being satisfied. You're being hurt, and the people think you're good. And like I'm the Zoe Neale Hurston quote, what was it? If you're silent, they'll kill you and say you loved it.
Mm-hmm.
That was real to me, because then I was like, no, fuck that. I have an issue with this. And I don't care if you think I'm being an asshole. I don't care, because the
door is right there.
You did something wrong. You did something against me. So now correct it.
Be like, and
Right.
and you should actually want me to open my mouth and say something, because if you go like at some point this whole walking all over me thing, it's going to get old to you.
Yeah.
And
And they only gonna leave you for somebody who's feisty. Ooh, I like that they feisty and they fight back. And yeah,
I mean, East St. Lawrence.
Yeah.
That's pretty much what that is.
that was it. So yeah, feelings are important. You have to express how you're feeling. So that's a agree
your mouth.
on both ends. It seems like these are all going to be an agree. That's what it seems like. So it sounds like
Because we're on 5.
yeah,
Okay.
Angela did a good job. Okay, so the next one is past relationships. It's important when beginning to have a relationship that you lay everything out in the open.
Agree.
Being entirely honest will give the person the opportunity to bail before feelings are invested and cultivated. Have a Q&A, giving each other individual opportunities to ask the questions that they deem important and worthwhile. Disclosing prior relationships will alleviate any possible surprises in the future, which will also eliminate any future arguments.
So Angela Guzman needs to not know my life. She needs to not know my life, because if I've said it once, I've said it a million times. Your ex is not your next.
Yeah.
You can't be mad at what, you can't take out the feelings that you have for your ex on the guy that you're dealing with now, because he gonna look at you like, okay, so I didn't even know that we talked about this a minute ago. I didn't even know that was happening. I can't. What's wrong?
Yeah. Yeah, no, it's real. I think also a red flag for me is when you meet someone, they talk about their past relationship and they take the victim role automatically. It's always, they did this, they did this, they did this.
But what did you do?
Exactly. What did you do?
Be like, cause see, if they did all this,
Right.
what were you doing at the time?
Because there's all people
like, you weren't just
understand.
passive the entire time.
There's always an action and a reaction. No one's just living life. Yes, there are some fuck boys, but it's still interesting to meet people who I keep meeting victims. I never meet anybody who's
Who
actual
owns their
suspects. I never meet the suspects. I always meet the victims. I don't get that.
Cause see, the second I hear you say like, oh, he did this, he did this, he did this, he did this. Okay, but where were you?
Yeah, where were you?
What were you doing?
What tone did you use? Did you go through his phone? Did you call his mama a bitch? What did you do to get that?
Did you fuck his best friend?
Right.
Sweetheart.
Did you?
What were you doing?
I tell people like when the people get cheated on, did you withhold sex and say, oh well? Because I'm like that's actually.
Or what was going on with your intimacy? With your intimacy, like I get it.
Yeah.
You were hurt and all that good stuff.
Yeah.
But how did they get here?
Yeah, exactly. It's real.
Like how did y'all get here? If y'all were happy in the beginning, like you say you were, how did y'all get there?
Exactly. No, that's real. That's real. Yeah, no. So you definitely talk about past relationships, and just especially to know patterns too, to see patterns and to see, like, you know, it's okay. I mean, you don't have to be too nosy. I don't think, like, just ask like questions that will be pertaining to you. I don't need to know every detail or even exactly how you guys broke up, but I do need to know some serious things. Like, you know, how long did it last? Or what did you guys like to do? Or, you know, things like that. Like, what were some things that went on in the relationship that didn't go well for you? Because I listen on a different level. I don't listen on base level. I listen to the in-between shit. I listen to tone. I listen to how I want to see what are your triggers and what got you there. Because some people just have trust issues too. Oh, well, you know, he went out too much and, you know, and I don't like that. Or he did this too much and I don't like that. But yeah.
And then with that too, if every relationship that you didn't have was with a fuckboy or a bitch nigga or something like that, the common denominator in all that is you.
Exactly. Why do you keep choosing these people?
No, not even why you choosing them. What are you putting out into the universe to bring them to you?
Right.
So,
or and this argument, it's not even connected to it, or it kind of is, but I have an issue with people who make generalizations based off the small sample of people that they date. Mm-hmm. So you date 2 light-skinned people,
and apparently,
and now all light-skinned people ain't shit.
Like every light-skinned dude is just
right, or you know what I mean? That's what I'm saying. Like, it's like you specifically chose these people on some shallow shit, and they didn't have any depth. You didn't ask the right questions. You didn't do the right things. You knew them for all a month. Right. Y'all just fucked. But now you think that everybody else is like this based on that. And I have an issue with that because it's a small sample. Obviously, you failed science. You didn't know how to actually do this. But I don't like that either. But talk about your past relationships. That's important. And then the final one is goals. That seems Yep. Okay, walking into
keyword in sentence
seems right. Walking into a relationship, you should know the goals and hopes for your partner. Are they happy with their career? Do they want children in the future? Do they want to get married? What are their short and long-term goals? In a nutshell, all of those questions should be addressed in the beginning so that there are no surprises and everyone can work towards the same common goals at hand. Be honest and understand that people do change over time. Say that shit! But as long as you're upfront in the beginning, the progression and growth towards other happenings will be visible.
Angela, girl, stop knowing my life. Stop that. Stop it,
man. Yeah,
because I promise you, I don't care what you want to be in life. I'm gonna support you, but you need to be something.
Yeah.
Like, if you, and I've heard this joke before, if you the fry cook at Wendy's or McDonald's, my nigga, be the best fry cook.
Right.
Like, be the best fry cook you can be.
Because management is coming. Management's coming. You can be regional manager, then get up to that corporate level. I've seen success stories. I'm just saying.
Look, if whatever you want to do in your life, you do it. Mm-hmm. But have a plan. Because I'm sorry, if you still sitting here 10, 15, 20, 25, 30 years later, you still working the same job, that's a problem.
Yeah, it happens too.
And people may not agree with that, but look, whatever guy I'm with, I like I just said, I'll support you with whatever you do. Mm-hmm. But you better be doing something.
Yeah, that's real. I think absolutely you have to talk about goals, and then also I remember I was talking to this guy, and I kind of liked him. It was like whatever. Right. But he was talking about what he wanted to do. He wanted to go back to school. Mm-hmm. And I was like, cool. But he kept mentioning all these schools that were in different states and countries. And I was like, oh, red flag. Not red flag, but it's like, here I am, stable. And I was like, you're trying to like...
Not red flag. It was more like, okay, let me tune into this.
Right. It just makes me say, well, I'm not about to be moving to all these places. So that means I should probably back away. Go for it, boo. Do what you got to do.
Sometimes guess what? Your dream's going to be here. Mm-hmm. But I might.
Exactly. And sometimes you have to listen to see if you're included in people's goals. Because I remember I had a boyfriend.
If all they're saying is, I want to do
exactly.
this. I want to do this. I want to do this. I want to do this.
Oh my God.
Okay, so where am I going to be?
Yes, I had a boyfriend who did that. And I was just like, he has not mentioned me. Oh yeah, I want to do this house. I want to do this. I want to do that. And then I think one time he said he wanted to get a wife. And I said, well shit, I certainly ain't.
Like, so this is where I check out. Like, this is where I check out.
Let me go.
Because
so
I can't give that.
It's important. It's also, especially for a push. And it's funny because friends do this too. You can talk to your friends about goals. You have people who will like be like, "Hey, have you done this yet? Have you done this yet?" It's important to be that support, and that way you can kind of keep them on par too. You can become an accountability partner if they want that. Don't force accountability on them because some people don't like that either. Like, wait a minute now.
And also, don't please, God, Jesus, don't make the goals for them.
Yeah,
Don't make them.
that. This is
for
what
them.
I want you to do.
Like, no. If they already have something in mind, it basically don't be Molly. Don't try to force your dreams and your goals and your wishes on somebody else, because they're gonna look at you and say, I didn't ask for all this. I'm gonna just back away.
Right, because you have to. It's all about approach and how you're doing it. If you're too aggressive, you'll be like, "Whoa, you're doing too much." But to be a support system, goals are important. Make sure you have the same goals. Especially, do they even want to be married? Because some people are like, "Oh,
do they even want kids?
Do they even want kids?" That's an important one. That people get their hearts broken.
Because see, folks be wanting a whole house full of children, and they partner like, "Whoa, time."
Right.
Especially
if you're a man talking about you want 6 kids from a woman, check for her uterus.
And
maybe she
looking at you like,
nigga,
Negro, how many coming out of you?
Right, because you get
how many are coming through you?
And sadly, I have a friend who her husband wants a lot of kids, and she's like, pregnancy is so hard on me. She's like, I don't. She's like, I'm good. She's like, and I know it's going to be a thing, but she's like, I just know.
I don't want it.
Her pregnancies are terrible. She's like, I'm good. They have 2. She's like,
that's it.
Be okay. Be okay.
That is it.
This.
Like, bro, you better hope you get a whole lot of grandkids.
Right.
Because as for right now, those are the ones you getting out of me.
My mean ass, I'm like, try again with your second wife, child.
Go find your mistress.
Right.
Like, I support you.
Right. Or maybe we can adopt or something. But I am done. Like, she's
like, I'm not finna actually have them
because she gets really sick, and she's like, pregnancy is so hard.
And honestly, people don't really understand just how much a woman's body changes through pregnancy. They just they figure like, oh, she's glowing, she's happy, da da da. No, girl,
baby sitting
she's
on
actually in hell.
Right, baby sitting on certain parts of your body,
your organs and all that pushed up and back and shit.
Stealing
your
ribs
and
your food,
titties and shit.
Right.
No,
stealing your food and your resources.
And don't be a pregnant vegan because your baby gonna be like, yeah, that's cute. That bacon over there looks
right.
really
Eat this bacon, bitch.
Like that bacon over there looks really good.
We'll get back to it. Give me the animal
like once
products.
I leave, you can go back to being whatever the hell you want.
You know what's funny?
I want this pig.
I've never considered the pregnant vegan. Thank you. I have to ask questions. Christina, I'm calling you later. I have questions.
Because I thought about that and I'm like, okay, sis, you may want to be a vegan, but your baby, however, they gonna be like, yeah, that's cute.
I mean, they eat what you give them, but I'm curious about like the nutrients now when it comes to the baby. Who have questions?
And then also the baby tends and honestly, I've actually kind of studied a little bit of this too. Mm-hmm. But the baby also takes. I think I heard that the baby also kind of controls your immune system. And all that stuff.
They do. They can.
And it's just
babies have killed their parents, like vampires.
If that baby gets sick, guess what, sis?
Yeah. No, babies have killed their.
And parents. then it's susceptible to everything.
Yeah,
like everything. Mm-hmm. Like I watched my sister. She had triplets, and she.
How are they now?
They're about to be 9 in October.
Come on, triplets. Now I'm gonna go good your Facebook and look for them.
I love them, children. But yeah, just like when she was going through her pregnancy, it was rough. Yeah, and it's like
there's 3 people
of you inside your body. This is not a good thing, people.
Oh my God.
And that's why I'm like, Lord, thank you for making me a man, because I'm already horrible as a gay man. Imagine me with PMS and a uterus. Y'all, half y'all be dead.
Yeah, nah. Yeah, no, people have to respect that. So yes, talk about goals and kids and shit. So apparently we agree with all 6 of those, and those are all things to talk about.
Angela know my damn life, and I'm upset.
That was awesome. This whole conversation was awesome. I'm glad you were able to come and be on the show.
Thank you for having me.
I'm sure it was a great conversation. Tell people where they can find you.
Okay, so you can find me on my website, Artistically Chaotic.
I'll put it in the info as well
because it's a lot to spell. But
it says Artistically Chaotic.
Yes.
Bow.
And I'm on my social media. Facebook is my name.
Jabari Scott.
Yes. Twitter, it is Vocal Soul. It's at Vocal Soul 90. Spell it how it sounds. And on Instagram, it's It's r.tistic _ chaos. I'll have Kevin put all that in the
Yeah, it'll
description.
be all in the info box or whatever. Cool.
I look forward to seeing y'all.
Absolutely. And this is another show. Remember to rate, subscribe, share. Find Jabari on Instagram. Find me.
Come look for a bitch.
Yes. Look for a bitch. Hashtag look for a bitch. Send all your topics and questions and shit to the outlinetopics@gmail.com. Leave your comments on SoundCloud. And as always, thank you so much for listening to the show. And until then, I will get with you guys next week with another show.
Bye.
Peace out.